Not eating enough calories can cause some serious problems. Not only does it cause your metabolism to slow down and fight against fat loss, but it also runs you into the ground, makes it easier to gain weight, and also, let's be frank, it just makes you feel like crap. So how do you know if you're not eating enough? Well, today I'm going to walk you through 5 of the big warning signs that you can look for and make sure you get the results you want without starving yourself. Hey, this is Colin DeWaay. If you want to master your metabolism and create forever results, start that process now by subscribing and click on that bell notification so you don't miss anything. Alright, let me clear the air right up front. I often warn you against going too low calorie and the implications they can bring, but that doesn't necessarily mean there aren't times that you're going to have to go low calorie to get the results you want. Especially if you have a long history of extreme dieting, it's natural for your body to fight against fat loss. And honestly, this is a big part of why weight loss gets more difficult over time. You've probably noticed this. Each passing weight loss attempt has probably been more difficult than the last. So even with a good reverse diet, putting your metabolism back in a better place, there's no guarantees that you won't have to get pretty low calorie at some point. The trick is not spending more time there than you need to, and you definitely don't want to get stubborn when the body's fighting you. And it's also important to understand that while there are dangers in going too low calorie, it's not necessarily even those low calories that are the real danger, it's the diet after the diet that's the big problem. Remember, your metabolism is adaptive, so if you go really low calorie, especially for a long time, this is going to be the new normal for your body, and your maintenance calories become ultra low. What ends up happening now is you get stuck, you get frustrated, you feel tired, it's not worth the effort, you end up going into YOLO mode and overeating like crazy, and the weight comes back on crazy fast, often overshooting previous body fat levels before you even started the diet. What's worse is if you do this quickly, your body hasn't had time to improve its metabolism much. A lot of times you end up panicking about this weight gain, go right back into a diet again, your body doesn't respond, it gets that much more frustrating, and this cycle just continues as you get bigger and bigger. So please, if you take nothing else from this video, if you get stuck and it's no longer worth your effort, be okay with that, but what you need to do is reverse diet out and not go into the all or nothing mentality. Which, if you don't know what a reverse diet is, don't worry, I will link at the end of this video, as well as put in the description, a video about how to reverse diet and why it works and why you probably need one. Just know that it's where you gradually increase your calories over time to allow your metabolism to get back into a better place while minimizing the amount of fat you gain as you get your calories up. Anyway, with that out of the way, I want to give you the 5 warning signs you should watch out for to know that you're not eating enough. The first is you're suffering from extreme exhaustion pretty much all the time. The second would be if you have an overly obsessive focus with food, especially if you're suffering from a lot of binging behavior. The third would be if you're constantly extra moody, much more irritable than usual, especially at things that wouldn't normally bother you. And the fourth would be if you find yourself being overly cold all the time, especially if that's not normal for you. Now, before I give you the 5th sign, I do want to talk about these 4 signs and why your body would be giving them to you. And it's basically your body is saying, hey, you're going way too hard, this is too much, and it's telling you that it's time to back off. Remember, your body doesn't care about fat loss. It cares about survival. And if it thinks that there's a lack of energy supply, it's going to do some of these things like this to make sure you do get enough. And this is why you feel so crummy when you do this for too long. Your body's literally trying to get you to gain more fat. So yes, your metabolism is slowing down. It's making it easier to store energy that you do give it, and it's making it harder to burn fat for energy. And not only that, your hormones are gonna get all out of whack, which is part of this process, especially your hormones ghrelin and leptin, which are your hunger hormones. And this is why you find that you're overly hungry and find it so hard to feel full even when you do eat. So please understand that there's nothing wrong with you when you feel this way. You're not weak, it's literally your body fighting against you, but you do have to be careful about listening to your body here. Yes, you should listen to your body as in, okay, enough is enough and we need to stop doing this and it's time to start that reverse diet. I just mean if you listen to your body as in it's telling you to eat like crazy and to lay around and do nothing and just completely stop everything that you were doing, at least if you don't want to gain all that weight back in a hurry, you're going to have to fight back and take your time coming out. But please, please, please do not get stubborn. Like, this just kills people. If your body's fighting you so hard, I don't care if you haven't met your goal. Don't try to force it. If it's not there, it's gonna end poorly. So just be okay with it. Understand you have your whole life ahead of you. Your body weight, your body size doesn't make you who you are as a person. And this has to be a lifestyle anyway. So just play that long game. Okay, with that out of the way, the fifth sign that you're not eating enough calories would be if you're in a cutting phase and you're losing weight too fast. I know when I say that, a lot of people say, how can that possibly be a thing? But it actually is. And I know we all dream of it. We all want those fast results. But if you're losing too fast, it's going to cause a lot of these problems that I was just talking about, including slowing your metabolism down and making you stuck with nowhere to go. Remember, you want to eat as many calories as possible and do as little cardio as possible while seeing results so you can keep making adjustments as your weight plateaus. It's gonna happen eventually. It's inevitable. Your body's just doing what it's supposed to do and adapt. But if you're barely eating and doing tons of exercise right off the bat, once you get stuck, what are you gonna do? Plus, if you lose weight too quickly, not only are you going to be losing fat, but you're also going to be losing lean body mass, and especially early in the process, a lot of that weight that you see is just water weight, and you really don't want to lose lean body mass. That is the last thing you want to do. And the reason for this is the more lean body mass you have, the faster your metabolism will be, the more it's gonna help with your body composition. So while I know I typically use the term weight loss, and I do this because this is what's searched by most people. Most people don't look for fat loss, they look for weight loss. But understand, weight loss and fat loss are not always one and the same, and we don't care about weight loss. That number doesn't matter. We're looking to lose fat. So anyway, you want to keep your pace of weight loss at no more than about 1% of your weight on average per week, up to 2%, maybe 2.5% if you're obese and have a lot of weight to lose. But keep in mind, this is an average over time. You're going to have some weeks that are more, some weeks that are less, and that's okay. We're not looking for an exact amount every single week. It's just over time, you should be in this rough pace. I'm telling you, slow and steady really does win the race. Pretty much every example that you can see of someone who has lost a lot of weight and kept it off for the long run has done it through this method. The other 95% of people lose weight really quick and just gain it back. So I say it in pretty much every video. I'm gonna keep saying it over and over until I'm freaking blue in the face. Patience is critical for this process. Now, as far as some numbers to watch out for, the main thing I typically look at is your fat intake, as not only does the body need fat for survival, but it's also critical for things like hormones, digestion, and nutrient uptake. So while these numbers I'm about to give you, I'm not exactly saying you can't go below these things. I'm just saying when you start getting around these numbers, this is a time to pay close attention to a lot of these different warning signs and just be cautious. So for men, once we start getting below about 40 grams per day, this is when we need to start being cautious. And then for women, it's when you're getting below about 30 grams per day. For carbs and total calories in general, I don't necessarily have bottom limits for the most part, but that doesn't mean you should just not eat and starve yourself. So many people get wrapped up in certain numbers like can't go below 1200 calories or below your BMR or whatever it might be. And that's just not always necessarily going to be true. And we can't say it across the board for everyone. Like 1200 calories is a lot different for a 60-year-old female who's 115 pounds and has a long history of dieting versus a 25-year-old male who's 250 pounds and has never dieted before. And this is especially true for people who have certain conditions like maybe PCOS that are going to make it more difficult. A lot of times they're just going to have to get more aggressive, and anybody else's experience has nothing to do with you, so don't compare yourself to others. But with that out of the way, some things that I typically look for, especially if somebody's not very overweight, once we're getting down to maybe 8 to 10 times their body weight in calories, that's getting pretty low and we need to start paying attention. But the more overweight you are, the less those body weight formulas matter because it's just a completely different story. The main point is, watch for these warning signs. Don't spend more time on low calories than you need to. And especially if you're stuck and can't see results, get out. Don't force it. It's time to reverse diet out and live to fight another day. Also, quick side note, one thing you can do that can dramatically help keeping your hormones and metabolism in a better spot to get through a cutting phase better is to take frequent diet breaks, which if you're not sure what that is or how to do it, I have a video in the card here up top or a link in the description as well below that you can check out next. Otherwise, if you want to know more about how to reverse diet and why it works, why you might need one, and basically anything you need to know about reverse dieting, then check out this top end screen next and I'll walk you through it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, I would appreciate it if you share with others and like this video. And I'll see you in in one of those other videos.